Hey guys, it's Ben,
And Kaiden,
and welcome to.
the Hooligans Podcast.
Alright, so to start, we're gonna start with some small talk, like always. So, what's just been going on new with us? So, Caden, what new things have been going on with you lately?
Um, Nothing much. Uh, I was sick, like, yesterday and the day before that, and, like, it kicked my ass like a bitch.
Like throw up sick, or just like fever, kind of sick?
Uh, More like a fever kind of sick, but, like, if I had tried to move at all, I would have, like, fell down so easily.
Yeah, dude, that sucks. I heard there's like a sickness spreading around Tawas right now, like in high school, the high school anyway. I've heard.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, like, some have the flu, some have COVID. It's wild.
Yeah, I heard Spencer has COVID, so. Well, what's new with me is I actually formed a schedule for everything. So, like, on Mondays, I'm going to be making my videos. On Wednesdays, that's going to be my streaming day. And then Thursday, which is today, it's going to be the day I film the podcast. And then I'm going to be scheduling the upload for Fridays. So, yeah, listeners, every Friday is when you can expect a podcast episode. I'm going to be trying to do it every week, hopefully. And on the weekends, if I'm free, I plan on streaming more or making more videos. So you have that in store. But something I want to talk about, like that literally just happened before we started this recording, is I made some eggs, right, Caden? And
Hmm.
I was my secret recipe for eggs is just some garlic powder, and I accidentally like unscrewed the whole top for the garlic powder, so I just like dumped a shitload of garlic powder in the eggs, dude. And
Oh,
it was interesting. It was very much too garlicky. My breath, it is not doing great right now. I'm gonna definitely have to brush my teeth after this recording, but yeah, that was a fun experience. And something else is that this actually happened my last class, my interpersonal communication class, which is interpersonal communication is basically how to communicate with people in order to continue our relationship, I suppose, is how I would describe it. And last Tuesday, our teacher had not been there, and we had like a substitute, which I didn't even know substitutes were a thing for college classes because I've never experienced one before because this is just my second semester. And we were basically learning about cultural communications. So like we're learning about different cultures and stuff and like stereotypes and all that. And
hmm.
during this discussion, we were talking about like an American culture thing that's different from other cultures, right? And
Yeah.
someone said tipping because tipping is an American culture. And my buddy Daniel, you know, I love him. He's a funny guy, but he takes his jokes a little too far sometimes, and he he just kind of like blurted out like how he like goes to Hooters every week and he doesn't tip ever. Like it's really out of pocket, and it was kind of funny, but the thing that really just got everyone in the room a little uncomfortable, including me, I was actually a little uncomfortable from his comment, is he was like, I'm not gonna give them a tip, but if they want a different kind of tip, you know what I mean? Like that was a kind of a crazy
Yeah.
statement to just announce to the whole class. And honestly, some people in class like started arguing with him. They're like, "Yeah, you should tip." And I said like, I'm not a fan of the tipping culture in America, but I know it's an
Hmm.
expectation, and without it, these waitresses and waiters would not have a decent like pay. So I do tip,
Yeah.
but I personally believe that tipping should be like something that's based on like how well the service was, and it shouldn't just be like an expectation because their boss doesn't pay them enough. You know?
Yeah.
What do you think about
Uh,
that, Caden? What do you think about the tipping culture in America?
when I worked at an ice cream stand, it's like I can't speak for waiters or anything, but there was a
Yeah.
little tip jar, and my boss was chill enough to let me take all the money from that, and that would usually get me like an extra $20 sometimes, which was really cool.
Was your base pay less than minimum wage in order for you to be able to have the tips, though, Caden? Because that's usually how it goes.
I was paid around like $9 an hour, so yeah,
Okay,
it
so
wasn't.
that's under. That is
Yeah,
definitely
that's
under. I think
isn't
it's
minimum
like at
wage like
least
fifteen
12.
dollars?
In Michigan, I think it's like 12 or something. Let me look it up real quick. It's 13.73, $13.73. But when you're in high school, they can kind of like pay you less for some reason because you're part-time or something. I don't actually know the rule behind that, but it's
Yeah.
stupid how they can just pay you less. But yeah, but also in like a tipping job, they pay you less because you're expected to make money from tips. And that whole culture is just stupid. I feel like just make the things cost more and pay your workers more. Sure, it'll have less people come in, but it's going to be the same amount by adding up the tip, you know?
Yeah.
And the workers shouldn't have to rely on like a tip because what if it's like a slow day and they don't get a lot of customers or it's just like a lot of people are not tipping like Daniel, maybe if you get too many Daniels in a day, you won't get, enough money to buy food for yourself and stuff like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
So,
like
Kane, do you
I
do
don't.
you think tipping culture, like as being an expectation, is like a positive, or do you think it should be like other countries where it's either outlawed, like Japan? They hate when you tip them in Japan, I've heard, and then
Wait,
like
really?
I think so. I think in Japan they actually get like offended if you tip them because like they think you're thinking they're poor, like they need the money. I'm assuming. Like I've just heard that. I might it's not 100% accurate, but that's just what I've heard, you know?
If that's true, that's crazy. But like,
I mean, it's just a
as far
cultural
as
thing. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
sorry, uh, as far as like expecting to be tipped, like I think that's pretty bad. But it's like I do think it's all right if you want to show like a little bit of like what's the word? Like I want to say support.
Appreciation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciation. That's the
support.
word. It's like if
I do
somebody.
agree.
Yeah, like tipping as a way of showing like appreciation or like telling like a way of telling somebody like you did a really good job, so here's a little extra. I think that's cool. But like I really don't think people should like expect to be tipped or like as far as like living off of tips as well. People shouldn't have to live off of tips.
Yeah, for sure. That's also what I believe. I think tips should be based on like how well you were served and if you want to support them like because how outstanding the service was that you think they deserve more money, and not just because at that point like if you get like a crappy server, and they like I don't know. What do crappy servers do? Just like take forever to bring you your check or something. I don't know. Something like that. And you still have to tip them because that's the expectation. I mean, technically by law you don't have to tip them, but you're going to be seen as an asshole
Uh,
if you don't
yeah, you're
tip.
gonna be seen as a
So,
dickhead.
yeah, no one wants that. But continuing my story about this situation, that wasn't the only thing actually. Um,
Hmm.
so we got into groups and we were supposed to act. We were told like there's going to be actors and writers, like two actors, one writer, and we got a situation we had to act out. Is what the impression I got was anyway. So we're group one. It's me, Daniel, and two others. I'm not gonna say their name because I don't know if they want to be out there like that, but I think Daniel's fine with it. And I decided it's gonna be me and Daniel. I mean, I asked everyone else obviously, but they're uncomfortable with being the actor, so it was me and Daniel being the actor. And our situation was a U.S. businessman going to Japan and proposing something like an offer.
Hmm.
And the idea I got from this activity was we were supposed to act out like the stereotypes because right before this we had been talking about all the stereotypes and I forgot what it's called, but the idea that your culture is superior to other cultures. And we were just prior to this talking about this exact situation. So I was assuming we would have to act out a situation where we would, be an American businessman who thinks like American culture is above all and such, so and so, you know.
Yeah.
However, so after we formulated this plan, this play, which give you the details right now. So the idea was I'm the businessman, Daniel's the one in the chair. I go up to him and I'm trying to propose to him some American food, such as cheeseburgers and hot dogs, to go into an establishment, a hotel, which was called like Ching Chong Industry or something, which that was very
Oh
stereotypical.
God.
I I do understand. I wasn't even the one who came up with that, by the way. That was Daniel. And since we were assuming that it's supposed to be like a stereotypical thing, you know, we went along with that.
Hmm.
So Daniel was to sit in the chair because we had learned prior that like Japanese businessmen, they don't really talk a whole lot. Like after the deal, they don't say, yeah, it's good or yeah, we're not taking it. They just sit there and they consider because that culture is a lot less talkative and a lot more body language, I suppose. And so we established this plan, and since we're group one, we are the first ones told to go ahead and do it. It turns out we had misunderstood what he meant because we weren't supposed to actually act anything out. We were supposed to just describe to him the situation we had formulated like from this situation we were given, right?
Hmm.
However, he said like since we already had gotten everything prepared, we can just act it out. So we do act it out, and it's very awkward because I'm the only one talking. Daniel's just sitting in the chair in front of me, and I'm just like yapping about hamburgers and like, yeah, you guys are gonna want hamburgers and blah blah blah, and Japan and stuff like that. I don't know. And eventually it gets to the conclusion, which is this is like my idea of what like a little comedic relief is. I go in for the handshake as American like gesture, and then he goes for the head bow at the same time. So it ends with me giving him a little slap on the face as he goes down for the head bow, and I give him a little slap on the face. And that joke did land, I think, because the class did laugh, but before that it was a little awkward. I ain't gonna lie, because I was running out of things to say about hamburgers. I was talking about like, yeah, we got all the trans fats in hamburgers. You guys, you might want to try some American cuisine in your industry. You
Hmm.
know, and I was just running out of things to say. It ended with that. It was kind of awkward. Anyways, fast forward to today, Thursday, 2 days later from this incident. We are watching like a movie or something. We did that today, and afterwards, Daniel told me like he had received an email about his like inappropriate behavior in class. Like I'm expecting it to be about the Hooters incident, and also things that have happened in class prior. I can see where people could have gotten uncomfortable, but that was
Yeah.
probably the worst thing I could think of on the top of my head. And it also regards the scenario being what I just described to you with the businessman and the Japanese businessman, you know.
Hmm.
And he received an email saying he has to like kind of tone down the jokes, don't be too inappropriate in a classroom setting.
Which
And
is a
it's
fair. That's a
understandable.
fair thing. Yeah.
And he thought I had received a similar email. However, I did not. Because I think it was more oriented about his comments during lectures and such that were somewhat inappropriate,
Yeah.
including the Hooters one, and not as regarding the scenario acting. Because for me, the scenario acting, like, I just misunderstood what we were even doing. Like, he called us actors, and I assumed we would be acting. Otherwise, why would you have two actors for something when they're not acting? Like, it didn't make sense to me, Caden?
Yeah,
And
that makes sense.
I misunderstood. I thought we were acting out stereotypes, so we acted out stereotypes. It's not like I believe these stereotypes like are fact. I just thought that's what the thing we were supposed to do. So I did it.
Hmm.
And every single group after us, they did not do any acting. They just talked about it. They just talked about it. And So a lot of the groups, like this is literally what the teacher said. Literally everyone had been doing stereotypes, and the thing that's like saying American culture is better than all culture, basically, is what we did, what the whole class did in their scenario. So I think I am not the only one who assumed that this was what we're supposed to do was act out like stereotypes. And it's clear to me that everyone in the class had thought that because everyone had done something similar to what me and Daniel had done. The only exception is they didn't have to act it out in front of the class, and it was only me and Daniel who would act it out in front of the class. So yeah, he said he's gonna just 100% stop joking in class, and I said like he doesn't need to stop joking. He just needs to tone down the inappropriate things like Hooters tipping,
Yeah.
but different kind of tipping, obviously. So, well, that's literally what just happened with me today. So that's everything new. I've gotten a schedule for the podcast, my other creative outlets, and that class thing that just happened. So, and then you've been sick. That sucks, huh?
Yeah, I've been sick, but then like my floor kind of flooded, so it's like I'm still picking up the pieces here and there, and then I gotta get it fixed. So
Oh, it flooded. So like, is it like falling apart or something?
not yet, but we gotta get the carpet all ripped up, and we gotta try and do that before the wood rots, cause that would be really bad.
Yeah, that'd be really bad. Like the floor would just be gone if the wood rotted like that.
Yeah.
I had a somewhat similar situation, but it wasn't like a house flood. It was just like my other this house I lived in while I was still in high school. I'm not gonna dox us, but this town. So we had like a deck, you know, like a wood deck, and the snow would fall down on it. And there was this one area of the deck that we just didn't shovel. I don't know why. We just didn't shovel it, and it had been rotting the wood. So we eventually had to literally rebuild some parts of the deck because it was just rotting and it was dangerous to go over on that side of the deck. It's a real pain. I mean, I'm sure it's even more of a pain having to rip up all the carpet before replacing the wood. If the wood's rotted. If the wood's not rotted, then you just have to replace the carpet, right?
Yeah.
Is the carpet like soaking wet or something? Is that how it's rotting, the wood?
It was. It's not like soaking wet anymore, but it's like we just decided that yeah, we're gonna get it ripped up, play it safe. Like,
That's a good idea. Because
'cause like
I'm
there are
sure if
still
it's
some
like just
holes.
wet, you could like just figure out a way to dry it, like have a heater running so it dries it up or something. But that's
Yeah.
probably the safer option, yeah, to rip it up and replace the carpet.
Like my mom said that there's like a tile thing underneath the carpet, so like once we get the everything ripped up, that'll just be the floor. And if the wood underneath isn't rotted, then yeah.
Well,
So
hopefully it's not rotted, 'cause that'd be a real pain to repair.
hopefully.
Well, Caden, how about you? I don't know, talk about yourself a little bit. What kind of hobbies, what kind of interests you got? What have you been up to lately?
Um, lately, like I haven't really been up to anything. I've been trying to get back into like animation and stuff because like I like YouTube as a whole. Like
Hmm.
I've posted like maybe four or five things within like the past 2 years, and it's like it sucks because it's like I like doing all that stuff, and it's like I want to keep doing it.
You want to get back into doing your YouTube stuff then?
Yeah,
Is what you've been trying to do?
I've also been thinking about like streaming a little bit here and there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I've been streaming lately, so if you need help setting anything up, you can ask me. What do you plan on streaming?
Um, Probably like Pokemon stuff. Like I've been getting into like learning competitive Pokemon and also like shiny hunting, so it's like I'd probably stream those things.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Well, speaking of animating, Caden's actually the one who animated the first ever clip for the Hooligans podcast, Slenderman Smile Dog. Would you rather
Oh,
question? It's pretty
that
cool.
that's still one of like my favorite things I've ever made because like it's like one of the first times that's like my like either second or third like animation attempt, and like I'm actually happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, it's really good. It's one of the most viewed shorts on the Hooligans YouTube channel. So,
Nice.
well, Caden, you want to like talk about your YouTube channel, like what you do on there and such?
Oh yeah. Um. So it's all like Gary's mod based and stuff. I started out like do you know who SMG4 is?
I don't. I think he's
Okay.
also someone who does that though, like Gary's
Yeah.
mod.
Back in like 2019, 2020, like I got like I loved watching his stuff back in like all the way back in like 2014, 2015. Uh, but like around 2020 is when I like got like a computer and stuff, and I like had the idea. It's like, huh, what if I tried to do this stuff, and then I did it, and then it led to this point where I just do whatever pops into my head. I try to make it a thing.
It's pretty cool. So you started wanting to do creation because of that one guy you were talking about?
Yeah, like I haven't done anything with like uh SM64 in a little bit, but it'd be nice to go back to it every once in a while.
Okay. And why are you trying to like learn animation?
Um, I want to learn animation because it's like in my opinion at least, it's a really good outlet for creativity, and like I can draw well, but 3D just feels better for me. And uh like I'm also not the best drawer, so like 3D just feels a lot better for me. But like if I want to
I
learn
get
both
you.
styles at some point.
Yeah, 2D animation, it's very cool. 3D animation, it's pretty good as well. So, is there any like projects you're working on at the moment, like for animation or your YouTube?
Just yesterday actually, I have no plan for this, but like it's gonna be pretty random. But I did start making a thing yesterday. Like it's so random I don't even know how to describe it, and I have no idea what direction it's gonna go.
Okay,
But like it's gonna be pretty short, like a lot of things.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Do you have like any goals you're working towards right now for your YouTube?
Um, as far like goals for YouTube, it's just they're pretty standard. It's like I wanna like get back into the swing of things and like be like more productive, like post more frequently, you know? Uh
Yeah, for sure. That's something I've been working on as well. It's frequency of uploads.
yeah. I'm like I also want to like I also like want to try like animating like more difficult stuff and just like putting it up there to like show my progress and stuff. Uh but like that's about it for YouTube. Like as far as like streaming someday, I'm trying to get like more comfortable being online and everything. Like
Okay. Well, this is a good first step is being on a podcast and talking about yourself. It's definitely a
yeah.
good first step. Like if you can be on a podcast, streaming is live, so it's a little different because podcasts are edited, but you just
Hmm.
gotta be able to watch yourself and what you say, I suppose, live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean when I say like I'm trying to be more comfortable and everything cuz like I it's like sometimes I can say like stupid stuff without realizing it, and it's like I don't like I'm trying to like stop that, you know.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, Caden, do you plan on continuing Gary's mod like things for your YouTube, or do you think you're gonna like switch it up at some point?
Um, I'm gonna keep up like the Gmod stuff because like it's really fun. Like even outside of like YouTube stuff, I hop on and I just like mess around with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I get you.
Um, I want to try SFN more. I did it once, and
What is that? SFN.
Source Filmmaker. It's uh it's an animation software on Steam, and like a lot of people can make like a whole bunch of different models for it. It's like in my opinion, it's like a Gmod, but specifically for animation. Like
Yeah,
I'm
that'd
trying to
probably be more of what you're like currently going towards is like animation and Gmod still. So it'd probably be good to go with that.
yeah.
Do you want like this to potentially be a career like animation type things, or do you think you're gonna be pursuing like is this just like a side thing you're pursuing?
Uh, I would love it if YouTube became like my main source of like if YouTube became like my job. I would love that because there's a lot more freedom with YouTube, and like still it's still a job in a way. It's like but
Yeah.
it just feels like you have like more creativity and you have like more control over it.
You definitely have a lot more control because it's your channel and you can control when you upload and such. So I meant
Yeah.
more like, let's say you get pretty well known in the animation like sphere and you got offered a job at a, I don't know, some animation firm. Like, would you be open to like working as an animator?
Probably, yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Just don't work on any don't work in like Japan as an animator because they get treated horribly, I've heard.
Yeah, like from what I've heard as well, it's not the best for like a lot of companies. There are some that treat people good.
Yeah. Do you want to like say what your YouTube channel's name is? And I'll also link it in the description of this episode so people can actually find you.
Uh, K64, but if you do the at, it's K64 underscore YT, because K60 like just K64 wasn't enough when I was making it. They said it had to be longer for some reason. So
Oh, okay. And it's just a YouTube channel where you post stuff. It's not like you don't have a TikTok or anything else.
no, just YouTube.
All right, all right. So, what would you say you're the most talented at? Like, what do you think is your number one talent, Kaiten?
Uh, Good question. Um, well, huh.
Here, I can go
I
first
hate.
if you want to think about it.
Yeah, you go first. I hate
I'd
questions
say
like these because it's like I can't think of anything right off the top of my head.
Yeah, don't worry. So, what I think I'm most talented at is probably my ability to learn things at a like a pretty fast pace. I feel like if I set my mind on something and I actually want to learn it, I will, dedicate that time and I'm pretty generally fast at learning new things. An example is like I used to always think like I couldn't type with all 10 of my fingers on a keyboard, right? But I set my goal like I want to learn to do this because if I'm going to get into content creation, I'm going to be working on a computer quite often. So I taught myself through this typing app. I forgot what it's called, but I just kept at it every day. I do it for like like an hour, sometimes 2 hours because I was bored. So I just practiced my typing and I would listen to music while I'm doing it. So some stimuli there, and I eventually learned how to type with all of my fingers on a keyboard at a pretty decent words per second. I'd say the thing I struggle with the most is the numbers because I did kind of cut off doing it when I got to the number section, but I'm still like figuring it out, the numbers, like what finger goes up for which number and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's probably my most what I'm most talented at is the my ability to learn things when I set my mind to it. Because something else is streaming. Like I knew nothing about streaming, but just a bunch of trial and error. I had Whiskey Calico. He helped me a lot set up my OBS, and yeah, just learning things. That's probably my biggest talent, I would say. What I'm what I'm most talented at. Have
Nice.
you thought of anything, Caden?
Um,
I can think of something if you can't.
uh, yeah, I can't think of anything.
I'd say you're the most talented person I know at like definitely what we were just talking about, like animation.
Hmm.
And I would also say probably YouTube in general because you've been doing it the longest out of everyone I know.
Yeah,
Because you
that's
actually helped
fair.
me a lot with thumbnails. You helped me a lot, like figuring out how to make a good thumbnail, which is something I have been working on.
Nice. Honestly, when it comes to YouTube and everything, I think the thing I personally am not the best at is thumbnails, and so it's like I want to try getting better at those myself.
Yeah, that website you showed me, I it's just so confusing. I don't even know how to use it. So I've just still
Okay.
been using DaVinci. So I gotta figure that out at some point.
Yeah,
So
I can help you with it. Like at some point soon, I can definitely help you with it.
yeah, for sure. Did you have any New Year's resolution, Caden?
Uh, no, not really. Uh, I feel like New
Well,
Year's
what are your
resolutions.
goals? What is your goals for this year, Caden?
Well, my I do have a couple goals for this year. One, I mentioned it earlier. I want to like get into streaming a little bit. Uh,
Yeah.
other than like streaming and stuff, other than like everything I mentioned before, really, I like pretty basic stuff. I need to eat healthier. It's not like I'm gonna try it. It's like I need to eat healthier.
That's a good one.
Hell,
That's a good
even
one. I
like I
talked
need to
about
eat
this.
more.
You definitely do need to eat more.
Yeah,
I,
I'm definitely very underweight.
Me and Whiskey talked about this question last time. Mine is also content creation related. Just my goal is to get 100 average listeners per episode on the podcast, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Those are my two goals, and how I plan on achieving these goals is consistency. Really, just consistency. Like with the podcasts, weekly episodes. With the YouTube, weekly videos, and continuing making short form content to grow. That is what my resolution is.
Nice.
Hmm. So we talked about like what we're the best at. Is there anything you'd say like you're pretty bad at?
Um, I'll admit it's like I'm open to things like the fuck, what's the word? What's the word? Constructive criticism. It's like yeah, constructive criticism. I'm open to constructive criticism, but like I will say that every time I get criticism, there's like my initial reaction like is like to block it out, but then it's like after a second it's like I'm like hold on, no, I need to accept criticism.
That's that's really big actually. That's really big. Someone I talked to as well said something about criticism and being able to just not get offended and like actually listen to constructive criticism is definitely very important. Like when you get a suggestion, and it might not
Yeah.
always be the way you do things, but it might be the better way to do it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely. Like I like so like personally, I get so used to doing things a specific way that like if somebody were to say, it's like if you like if you try doing it this way, it could like be better for you, and it's like at first I'll read it and like for a second I'll be like, well, I like doing it my way, and then it's like, hold up, they might have a point. Let's try doing it this way, and it's like yeah, it's like some like it'll work sometimes, and if it doesn't, then I'll keep on my way.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you mean. So, where do you see yourself in like the next 10 years?
Uh, that depends. If content creation and everything works out, then I definitely see myself keeping at it.
Do you have
Hopefully,
a backup plan in case it doesn't work out?
I'm trying to work on one of those right now, actually. Uh,
Okay.
like I don't have like a fully built backup plan, but if content creation doesn't work out, I'm definitely gonna just like find a local job somewhere.
So the workforce, you plan on just joining the workforce at
Yeah.
someplace? It's a good idea. I mean, it's not the best paying thing, but it'll get you by, you know, if
Mm-hmm.
all else fails. Yeah, for me, like how I self myself in the 10 years is, hopefully my goals do pay off and my work does pay off and I can eventually make content creation a career. If not, I'm working on a degree in business management, so who knows, maybe I'll have like a decent management job in the next 10 years or have my own business. That would also be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that would be
That's where I would
cool.
see myself in 10 years. I see myself either being successful in content creation or having a decent management job. What do most people misunderstand about you?
Um,
For me, I can go first again if you want to think about it.
yeah,
For
sure.
me, people always assume I'm like just a pretty mean person because I'm a pretty blunt person, I will admit. I say things how they are. I'm not going to beat around the bush. If something is a certain way, I'm going to point it out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing is I do have some, RBF, resting bitch face. And if people just see me without talking to me, they assume I'm kind of a jerk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the a story I can give to kind of talk about my bluntness, and this is something I do regret. This is actually something I did, which was mean. I was in wrestling junior year high school. There's this particular girl, I'm not going to say any names, who was in this sport who had never worn deodorant. And if you know anything about wrestling, you get very sweaty. There's a lot of conditioning, a lot of running,
Yeah.
and you are going to be touching another person because you're going to be wrestling another person. You're going to be pinning them down to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see where that problem would be if someone doesn't wear deodorant, right?
Yeah.
Because they are going to be pretty stinky. Now, all the practice happens. We're picking up the mats. We're rolling the mats back up and putting them under the stage. A, a lot of people come up to me and they complain. They say, this particular person, they are quite stinky. And they don't want to go up to her because they are just, I don't know, they just don't know how to like tell it to her straight up. So a bunch of people come to me and they complain, they tell me, and I'm like, all right, I'll just, you know what? I'll go up to her and I'll tell her. I'll just tell her straight up, like, hey, you got to wear some deodorant. So I do. I go up to her and not even in a private setting, there's some other people around. And I say, hey, you, you know, I've been told, you're pretty not smelling great, and everyone would appreciate if you were to just wear some deodorant. And they don't respond. They kind of just storm off. And I do think I handled the situation wrong. Like, I definitely shouldn't have been so abrasive. I should have like gotten them in a private scenario where I can say it more discreetly, because obviously it would be something they're embarrassed about, right? So
Yeah.
the coach talked to me and said like, yeah, I should have been, a little like nicer in how I handled it. But it wasn't really my intention. That's just like I'm just a very like straight up person. Like if there's a problem, I'm gonna address it, and I addressed the problem, and I didn't address it correctly, but I did overall address the problem. And if you want a news flash on how it ended, if the problem got resolved, it did not. I think she was on strike from deodorant or something. Because yeah, it continued to be stinky. It continued to be stinky. That's probably my what was even the question? I don't even know. Biggest flaw? Biggest
Uh,
flaw, right?
it's like biggest thing that like people misunderstand about you.
Oh,
Or-
misunderstand? Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
misunderstand is people think I'm mean. And that's an example of me being mean, but I prefer bluntness to subtlety because I'm just pretty bad at picking up on things that aren't vocal, like by body language. I'm not very good at picking up on body language, you know?
Oh
And
yeah.
that's why I prefer if like someone's like mad about something or upset, they just tell like they would just tell me instead of just thinking I know through their body language, you know? Anyways, Caden, how about you? What's your thing people misunderstand about you?
Um, I th- like I don't really I haven't really talked to anybody new in like years. So like going off of like you guys, like
Yeah, you can go
I
go ahead
would
off
say
of us.
that like I don't know, like my intelligence maybe. Like I've done like a lot of like stupid shit and I've like done like a lot of stupid things. Like that, but like uh I do remember like it was like more so like back in like ninth or 10th grade. Like fuck. Now I can't even fucking remember it. Maybe I am stupid. Maybe it's not.
You're definitely not stupid.
Yeah, it's like I remember like being like called constantly called like an idiot or something by people. Like remember back in like chemistry, it's like I basically flunked it. I didn't do anything. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't care. I couldn't care to learn or even try.
Well, it's just because something it was something you weren't really interested in learning, you know?
Yeah. Like I got called an idiot because of it though. It's like
By who?
I don't even remember. It's like
Probably probably Spite Man, you know?
yeah, that's it might have been him. Like a
He's
good friend and everything, but he definitely has called me stupid quite a few times. So like
he's called
half
me
the
stupid
time,
before too, so I wouldn't doubt it.
yeah. Like I would like I think that's something people would say like about you too. They would call you dumb, but like you are like one of the smartest people that I know.
People would call me dumb because I would ask questions that are, obvious, but usually it's a rhetorical question. And
Yeah.
also like I don't know, people kind of assume like I understand things, but this is what I was saying earlier, like I don't pick up on language unless it's like direct. So if people like assume I understand something, but I don't sometimes because they're like kind of they don't just straight up say it, I guess.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I That's
You were
another
also
thing
like
though. People do
really
assume.
good in chemistry, from what I remember.
Yeah, I was pretty good at chemistry. That was what senior year? Wait, no, that was junior year
It
when we
was
did
like 11th
chemistry.
grade.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad, but yeah, I would just say like that is definitely something I've been told as well as I can be pretty socially unintelligent occasionally. I wouldn't say unintelligent, but I'm very socially unintelligent occasionally.
Yeah. Same here.
So, Caden, I just thought of this question right off the dome. Give us a day in the life of Caden. Walk us through your like an average day for Caden.
Um. So it like an average day in the life for me.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up. I I take care of everything. I walk over to my computer. I usually wake up around like 10 or 11, and then it's like I'll hop in a VC with some people. I'll usually I'll work on my own stuff or I'll play games for a little bit. Uh, this part is really bad, but like I only eat like one meal a day, and it's usually dinner.
That is pretty
So,
bad. At least eat two meals
yeah.
a day.
That's what I meant earlier when I said like I need to eat like I need to eat more. It's like I only eat like one meal a day.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Definitely got to eat more than that.
Yeah.
So then after you eat, then what?
After I eat, which is like usually around like 6 o'clock, uh, I'm still like working on some things or like playing a game with my friends. It's like I also do like online schooling, so I'll do that as well for a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So that's your average day then.
Yeah, wake up, uh, play on my computer for a little bit, make some things, eat around 6 o'clock, and then uh, yeah, go to bed. Usually around like 11 to 2 o'clock, like 11 p.m. to
Okay.
2 a.m.
My average day as of lately has been waking up for class, usually 7 a.m. for my early class, and then 10 a.m. for my later class. And I go to class, it's usually pretty boring, but after class, I've been trying to do is go to the gym more often. So I've been going to the gym for like an hour and a half, an hour of whatever I'm focusing on, and then half an hour on cardio on the treadmill.
Hmm.
And that's what I've been doing lately is for an average day. After I do that, I go home. Oh yeah, I also shower in the morning. I forgot to say that. I go home and I shower again though after my workout. And then I either I oh yeah, then I work on my homework and actually no, I eat breakfast when I get home, usually some eggs, and then I work on my homework. And then as soon as I'm done with the homework, I do whatever I've planned for that day. So like making a video, editing. Editing takes most time of all.
Yeah.
Podcasting, as we are doing right now, or streaming, just something I've been trying to do more. And after that, then I edit it. When I edit whatever it is, if it's unless it's a stream, because I don't know. I don't really edit my streams, but and then I usually just go to bed. So yeah.
That's fair.
Yep. That is the average day for me. What would you say your biggest fear is, Caden?
Ooh. Good question. I won't lie. This one feels like a pretty easy one. My biggest fear,
Yeah.
I would say like it's a tie between like rejection and like I I don't know like exactly what it's called, but it's like a fear of like trying something new because like I don't want it to like be
Oh,
ridiculed.
fear of failure?
Fear of
Fear.
failure. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
Like they're in
let's
the
let's go
same
into the
vein,
first.
but
Let's go into that first one then. Rejection. Talk me through that. Why are you afraid of rejection?
uh so I'm not gonna go into like all the personal details about it, but
Yeah, you don't have to. Just generally.
uh ever since I was like a kid though, I've always had this fear of like if I did literally anything, I would be like shunned for it. Like I don't exactly remember
Why did you
why.
think? Yeah, I was about to say like, what did anything like happen in particular that made you think that?
Not that I remember. It's just like it just started like when I was a kid. Uh like in the fear of failure, that like I also don't remember why, and it was somewhat around the same time, but it's like I just started doing stuff and it's like I started thinking like geez, like if I do this, like people might not like it but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like it was around like when I was like 10, like around that age.
Yeah, it's a really like pessimistic way to think about stuff. I definitely should try to like work on a better mindset because trying out new things, 99.9% of the time you're gonna fail in
Yeah.
something regarding it. And you gotta just, when you fail, don't give up. Just continue, learn from your mistakes. And I know you're gonna start streaming soon. You said that's gonna be something new for you, right? And
Hmm.
I'm sure you're likely gonna fail in something. I failed in a hell lot of things when I first started streaming. My first stream, my mic wasn't even working. So like, just you gotta be okay with failure, and you just gotta learn from your mistakes. Like, don't be afraid to not be perfect, because nobody in this world is perfect, especially the first time they try something new. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, kid?
It's
But I
like
understand like why you're afraid of it.
yeah.
Regarding rejection, I would say that's one of my fears, but it's not my largest fear. Regarding rejection, like talking to people and thinking they don't want to talk with me, like something like that. Like even just asking something from someone, like I sometimes avoid doing it because I'm afraid of being rejected, you know.
Hmm.
So I do share that fear. It's definitely not a biggest fear of mine because I've been actually working on it and getting better with just taking rejection, you know, getting
Yeah.
told no. And that's a problem I have as well. When someone asks something of me, I don't like rejecting people either, so I usually agree to it even if I'm not, not ready, like not wanting to do it. You know what I mean, Caden?
Oh yeah, I get that so much. Like ever since I was a kid, like like especially with my mom, it's like I always like felt like I couldn't like say no to doing something.
Regarding my fears, I'd say my generic fear is like heights, and my more like my deeper fear is like not being remembered. I'd say because I'll first talk about heights. I've always just been afraid of heights ever since I've been a kid. Like just looking down and seeing like how far something is, I immediately imagine how it would feel if I'm like just falling to my death. And
Oh,
when I was a kid, I would have dreams. Like an example is, I'm on a, oh, what is it called? Like the power lines. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And you couldn't see the ground, but I would be sitting on the power line and I would not be able to balance myself, so I'd eventually fall until I go and hit the ground, which is when I would wake up. Is when I exactly that moment I hit the ground.
God,
So
those types of dreams suck.
it does. I don't get those kinds of dream anymore. But when I was a kid, I swear, nightmares like every night when I was a kid. I absolutely hated being a kid because I was so afraid of going to sleep because I would have nightmares constantly when I was a kid. But yeah, I was afraid of heights. I still am afraid of heights, but like just last year, I literally went on a plane, and for some reason, when I was in the plane, it wasn't as scary. Probably because I have more sense of control, because I was actually like controlling the plane, somewhat controlling the plane. That one field trip for physics or whatever. But
Hmm.
I'm afraid of heights, just because I look down and it just seems so far. Like I walked the Mackinac Bridge a couple times, and I don't know if you've ever been on the Mackinac Bridge, Caden, but there's some parts where it's like grates where there's like
Uh-huh.
holes in the metal.
Yeah.
And dude, it was terrible. Like when you're in the middle of the bridge and you look down, you see through the holes of the grates. It's just like it's terrible for me because I'm so afraid of heights. And also the bridge would sway. Like it would like sway. So it was terrifying for me. And there's like this side part for the Mackinac Bridge, which is concrete, and I just walked on that because I was too scared to walk on the crates. I don't know where my fear originated for heights, but it's something I've had since I was a child, is my fear of heights.
That's fair.
Reg Regarding the fear of not being remembered, it's just a really. honestly, it definitely ties in with the fear of death because everyone is afraid of dying, and if you think about it too hard, it gets kind of scary trying to think about like what happens when you die, type of deal.
Hmm.
Now, talking about my fear of not being remembered, like I feel like after death, you still, I mean, your idea, like if people remember you, you kind of still exist. Now, if no one remembers you, it's like as if you had never existed, and that's a very scary thought to me because I want to be remembered. Now, what do I want to be remembered for? Probably like content creation. Like Technoblade, someone who actually died. He is still remembered to this day because of his content creation, and
Hmm.
I'd rather be remembered. I don't want to die early or anything, but when I do eventually die, I do want to be remembered for something positive, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm really just striving for something to be remembered by, and it would be hopefully for entertainment and hopefully for being a good person. I'd like to think I'm a pretty decent person, you know.
Hmm. You are.
But that is probably my largest fear, and then why that's my largest fear. I think you and I should talk kind of a little bit about, how we met. Like, Caden, what is your earliest memory of me? I can think of mine right now of when I met you.
Um, Honestly, my earliest memory of you, um, I know we were friends back in middle school, but like I don't have any memories from that
Kid, we
time.
were friends in elementary school, dog.
We
You're,
were?
yeah.
Oh shit.
Here,
Dude.
let me tell you my earliest memory.
Okay.
Kid, you were actually I think my first friend in the friend group. I think you're like how I got even into the friend group, but I my earliest memory with you is we would just be either at the playground or walking in the halls, and I would just talk to you about like Five Nights at Freddy's lore or Terraria or something. But I think Five Nights at Freddy's lore is what we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of how I got in the friend group with you. And also another memory I have is we were in Spanish class, and I like took pictures of you for like different emotions and stuff. That was a pretty fun thing we did.
I think I might remember like the emotions assignment. Like I yeah, I remember that. I remember that now that I think about it like hard enough I remember it. Uh I'm not gonna lie. Like my memory, like in terms of like all of you guys, it unfortunately doesn't go back like past like high school, like ninth grade.
Yeah, I understand.
Like there's only one thing I remember from like before like high school, like and like I'm not gonna say their name, but like you'll know who I'm talking about. But like it's when they were like being dragged out of the class by the principal. That is the only memory from like elementary school that I have that I can like
Yes.
easily
Yes.
remember.
Stock man. Stock man. Yeah, that's definitely I think everyone's earliest memory because we talk about it pretty often.
Yeah. They've they've mellowed out like a lot.
Yeah, for sure. They have definitely mellowed out from a child. I really wish he would come on my podcast sometime so we could like talk about that, but he does not want to, so it's fine though. I
Yeah.
understand. I understand.
Like like I don't really remember how I met any of you guys though. It's uh like like my earliest memory with all of you guys that I can like easily remember is like ninth grade, like sitting at like the lunch table.
Yeah, ninth grade. That wasn't too long ago. Those are some good times.
Yeah.
Times were simpler back then. So, Caden,
Hmm.
I was thinking, we could talk about Pokemon for a while because that's kind of your expertise, you know?
Okay.
So, what is your favorite Pokemon, Caden, and
Oh,
why?
okay. Uh, Personally, it's a tie between Scolipede and Incineroar.
And why?
Um, so in Incineroar, okay. The first game that I played on the first Pokemon game that I truly played was Pokemon Sun, that I got on my 10th birthday. And but I was a Pokemon fan before this. I was like collecting cards and watching the anime and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but when I turned 10, my mom got me a Pikachu, a Pikachu designed 3DS XL with Pokemon Sun. And it's like I didn't care about any other gifts cuz holy shit, I got a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I chose Linton as my starter because holy shit, it's a cat and I like cats. And then and then once I kept playing the game, like like the evolution line is pretty weird when you think about it, when you stop to think about it. You don't even need to stop and think about it really, but it's it goes from a small kitten to a big cat, and then it turns into a wrestler type of build.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. They're also in Smash Bros, I'm pretty sure,
Oh
Incineroar.
yeah.
Yeah.
But to me, I didn't care that it was weird. I just thought holy shit, this is cool as fuck. Like I don't know. And it's also from what I hear, it's also really good competitively. But I didn't really care about that. I just thought he was cool.
Is Incineroar probably your top favorite, or is it Scolipede?
Um I will say because of Pokemon Sun, I am a little bit more biased towards Incineroar, but it's very very close between the
What?
two.
Why do you even like Scolipede, Caden?
Um
Like, what's the story behind that?
uh Not really sure. Like back I'm not even sure when I first played Pokemon Black 2. Uh but I saw Scolipede and I was like, holy shit, that's cool as fuck. It's I
Valid.
like a lot of Pokemon, but it's those two for some reason just stick in my head, and I love both of them.
Yeah. I just looked up Scolipede. I'm not really a big fan of Incineroar, but I'm not really a big fan of most of the Pokemon from that generation. But my
That's
favorite
fair.
Pokemon, I would say, is Gyarados. I don't really even know why I like him so much, but I just like him because he's like a dragon and he's cool. And there's also like a red variation of him, which I think it's the shiny version, right? The red
Yeah.
variation. I
Yeah,
think I think
Shiny
just think he's
Gyarados
such a
is red.
cool Pokemon. I just think he's such a cool Pokemon, and he just evolves from Magikarp, like one of the most useless Pokemon ever, into Gyarados. Like I just think he's so cool. I think he should be legendary. Honestly, I think Gyarados should be a legendary Pokemon.
Um, if I I haven't heard a lot of stuff about this, but I'm pretty sure Magikarp in Gyarados was based on a legend.
Yeah, so why isn't he legendary if he's based off a legend?
It's based on a story where if about a fish who can swim up a waterfall that could turn into a dragon. I'm not educated on it at all, and I've only heard a little bit about it. But regardless, it's cool.
That is a cool story. Yeah. Yeah, I just love Gyarados. If I ever were to get into collecting Pokemon cards, I would just try to collect every Gyarados. But
That's fair.
yeah. Speaking about Pokemon though, the card game, it's probably the most scalped thing right now. Like
Oh
I've been
my
seeing people
God.
people at like Pokemon card machines, like vending machines, is like getting in fights about it. And
Yeah.
dude, it's really not even a kid's thing anymore because kids can't buy Pokemon cards because scalpers are buying them all up and selling them online. It's pretty screwed up how much
It's annoying as
scalped it
shit.
is.
Like I went to Walmart. I went to our Walmart like a couple weeks ago, and like I was like, huh, I'm pretty bored. I'm gonna get a pack, cause like I got nothing else to do, just walking around. Uh,
Uh,
all of them were gone. Like nothing. There was nothing left, and I was like, really? It's like there are scalpers here.
Yeah, there's scalpers everywhere, dude. I When I worked at Walmart, I literally saw someone with like a whole cart of all the Pokemon cards. But as soon as they were restocked, it was like I was just judging them so hard. I should have like I was working at the time, so I couldn't really pull out my phone, but I wanted to like record them and shame them for it. Because I absolutely hate scalpers.
Yeah. Like
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 I'm more into
uh
Magic the Gathering, but even that is scalped. Go ahead, Ken.
sorry. Uh I remember we were hanging out once, and we were just like watching Papa Meet, and like his video on Pokemon scalpers came up,
Yeah.
and like uh how do people like that exist?
They just think it's an easy way to make money, but it's it's just a scummy thing to do. Don't buy something just for the reason to sell it for a higher value.
Yeah.
Unless you're like refurbishing it. Pokemon cards, you're not refurbishing, you're just buying them and selling them immediately. So
Yeah.
I would say, it's definitely this very scummy business practice, and it's recently been coming into the Magic realm as well for Magic the Gathering, and it just really sucks. Scalping is a scummy thing to do.
Yeah.
Did you hear about like this Pokemon store getting robbed, Caden, of like
Uh
thousands of dollars worth of cards or something? Like
yeah.
they're even turning to like actual crime of robbing stores.
It's like, do you need to pay child support that bad, bro? Oh my fucking god.
I guess. I guess.
Like I collect Pokemon cards because like I think a lot of the art is cool. Even on like the really basic cards, I think the creative stuff is really cool. Like I've also been like trying to learn how to play the card game a little bit, but I'm mostly in it for collecting all the different pieces of art.
Dude, most people are like, you'd be surprised. A lot of people who collect the cards don't know how to play. I learned like a little bit about the card game.
Hmm.
It's kind of fun. My main thing with it is it rewards the player who's winning. I think it should reward the player who's losing, so there's more of a comeback mechanic. Pokemon does not have a comeback mechanic. Pokemon has a mechanic of when you're crushing your opponent, you get even more resources to crush them even harder. Like through prize cards. Like if you I don't remember how it works, but like if you're winning, you get a prize card and then you get an extra card. So you're getting rewarded for winning. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Okay.
But yeah, Pokemon, it's never been something I've been huge into. I really liked the games I had on my DS. Like my first ever Pokemon game was Black and White, and I played it on my 3DS, and it was a lot of fun. As time went on, though, I swear, every single Pokemon game is literally just copy and paste. Every single one is like the same story. It's exactly the same. It feels like to me, and that's really why I've stopped playing Pokemon games, as well as I really just don't like Nintendo, so I don't really want
Yeah,
to support them either, as
that's fair.
well. So
Like, uh,
yeah, that's my thing.
I like, I know it's like you can't buy a game on the shop or like you can't buy anything from Nintendo without like
You
financially
can't
supporting Nintendo.
you can't
But
own
it's like,
anything. You can't own anything from Nintendo either. It
oh, that's
sucks.
true. It's like the hidden thing that if you try to mod your Switch to they can brick it, and that sucks so much.
Yeah, Nintendo is such a scummy company, dude. Like anyone who even tries to do anything Pokemon like related in some stuff, they'll just sue the hell out of you. Like that, what's that one game called? The one like that's kind of like Pokemon but not.
Pal
They
World?
that they sued. Yeah, Pal Worlds. Pal Worlds they sued because it was too much like Pokemon.
I haven't been keeping up with all of that, but like from what I heard, they're not succeeding.
Oh yeah,
And
they're losing. Pal Worlds
yeah.
Pal Worlds is like changing a couple things where it could be like argued to be too similar, like the ball aspect, like the Pokeball. I think they changed.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Dude, it's like I haven't played Ark, but from like what I've seen, it has like a similar concept where it's like you can like summon like your dinosaurs and stuff to like fight other dinosaurs and like I've been meaning to play it for a little bit, but like there are so many different things where it's like if you try to like patent the idea for like summoning creatures to fight for you, like there are like so many things that would like just not
yeah,
that could be sued, and I'm glad that the patent failed.
yeah. They would definitely try slapping you on the wrist. And the main thing is like for Arc, it's not a big problem, but for like an indie developer like Pal Worlds, they think they can just scare them into changing the game. But I'm glad Pal Worlds didn't back down because it's actually a very successful game. So
Yeah, like
so
Nintendo like for like Gmod and stuff, there was like a lot of Nintendo stuff on the workshop, like models, maps, and all that. A couple years ago, they went through and demanded that like all that stuff be taken down. And
yeah.
like thankfully there were people who said fuck you and like would like repost the maps and stuff or just like wouldn't take their stuff down, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's great. How do you feel about the newer Pokemon games, Kaden? Are you a fan of them?
Uh like there's parts that I like like the newest one I played is Pokemon Scarlet. I got
Yeah.
that back on the 26th. Uh, like I've had fun with it, but there are definitely problems, and I can't really speak for Legends ZA, but from what I've seen, there's definitely a lot of problems in there as well. Uh,
What would you say the problems are, and like what did you like and what didn't you like?
um, so I like how like some of the Pokemon look. It has a different style. Like it's not like as cartoony compared to like Sword and Shield.
Yeah,
Uh,
was that one of the 3D Pokemon games? I've always been a fan of the 2D ones, personally.
yeah, Sword and Shield was the game right before Scarlet
Yeah.
and Violet. Like I like how the style is in Sword and Shield, but I also like how it looked in Scarlet and Violet, which like a lot of people didn't, which is fair. At first, I absolutely hated it, but it's grown on me. Uh, some
Okay.
things that are bad are like they're pretty obvious stuff, and like things that people have talked about before, where like the game is poorly optimized for the Switch One. There's still like a shitload of bugs. Uh,
Dude, the Switch one was built so poorly too, just
that
in
yeah.
general. Like I think its maximum is 720p. I don't even think it has 1080p if I remember correctly, which is
I don't remember.
terrible in terms of modern gaming.
Uh, like, in terms of Legends EA, this is only from like what I've heard, because like I said, I haven't played the game. I'm not sure I want to buy it, at least like right now, because you know Nintendo. Uh, uh, like all the stuff where people have like like people have complained about like the windows and stuff, and it's like it's
The
less about like
Windows?
huh.
What do you mean? What do you mean the Windows?
Back in Pokemon X and Y, there were like balconies and stuff, and
Yeah.
like people were saying like, oh, there's not even any balconies. And, like, it's less about there being no balconies, and the fact that like it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of effort put into the game and stuff. This is still stuff that has been like said to death. I think a better example would be like there's this bridge. Like for example, there's a bridge and like it'll have like a texture of like a pillar, but
Yeah,
like when you look at it, it's still flat. Like
that's not
that's
good.
what like people are trying to say when they're talking about like the windows and everything. It's like things that should be 3D are just flat textures, and it feels like there's no real effort put into it.
So mostly visual things are what people are complaining
Yeah.
about, not game design, like how every game's the same, but different Pokemon. That's what I would complain about is how
Hmm.
it's just like the same format every time, you know? Like I wish they I don't know, necessarily know how they could change it, but I do think they should try to do something differently, you know?
Uh, like I think it's less on the format and more on like the story and everything, because every game has like the same like build up format. You're a kid and you get to go on like a gym like the gym challenges and everything. It's like beat all 8 gyms and become the champion and everything. Like
Hmm.
I have no problem with the format as long as like the story's good and like I'm having fun. Like
I guess to me it just feels like you're playing the same game over and over and over though, you know?
mhm.
Because
That's
the story isn't even like it is different, but it's not like it's not big enough for me to really get me into it.
that's fair. Uh that like I will say that's why I think Sun and Moon and Scarlet and Violet are probably more fun in my opinion, because in Sun and Moon you don't have gyms. You have the island challenge and like
Yeah,
the island
that's
Kahuna stuff.
something I like, you know, it's innovative. It's
Yeah.
an innovative thing they changed.
Uh, and in Scarlet and Violet, you can like go to any gym you want first, which is a neat gameplay thing in my opinion. And like I think I actually like the story of Scarlet and Violet, and I think if it was better when it released, if it was like more optimized for the Switch One and there weren't like a ton of bugs and everything, I think it would have had like a little bit more praise. But it's like, what good is a good story if the game you're trying to
If you can't,
play,
yeah, you can't
yeah,
play it.
if you can't play it well, if you're running at like less than 30 frames and your system is overheating after only like 15 minutes,
Yeah, that'd be
and
terrible.
yeah, it's like, of course that's not good. So it's like if it was like more optimized and it was just like if it was just like fine tuned before it was released, I think people would have liked it more.
That's a problem with like most AAA game companies nowadays is they don't even game test enough and then they just release the game like half baked and then fix it later on.
Yeah.
Like a prime example is Cyberpunk. Like that game was released practically unplayable for most people and they have since optimized it, but games just keep becoming released like unfinished and it's just a stupid thing. That's why I wait until the game's been out for a little while before I even buy it, just to make sure it's, you know, everything's functional and stuff, you know.
Hmm.
So, yeah, still talking about Pokemon, like what would you want to see in a future game? Like what changes would you want to see for a future Pokemon game?
Uh, I'm I'm not sure. Like I do hope at some point with we get like a an Alolan Legends game, like we get to go back there and stuff.
Yeah.
And like if we do ever get like a Sun and Moon Legends game, I hope we get like some more Ultra Beasts, cuz like the Ultra Beasts were cool, but like there wasn't a whole lot of them,
Yeah.
and like there were a bit more introduced in like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but like I'm still playing through that one right now. But it's like if we got like even more, that would be like really cool. Cause like it's the only place where it's like you could introduce Ultra Beasts, cause like they were important to the story and everything. Like if we just get like a new game and like Ultra Beast came in there and it didn't have any ties to like Alola or anything, then it would be pretty weird, you know?
Yeah, what are the Ultra Beasts? Like what are they? Because
Uh,
I'm not really well versed in the Pokemon universe.
they're they're basically Pokemon from like alternate dimensions. It's like if like they're normal Pokemon where they come from, but like they're pretty wild still.
Okay. What I would want to see different is this is a complaint I've heard a lot is having some like everything like voice act, like every character instead of like being a text box that pops up, having it be voice act. I think that'd be really cool with Pokemon.
Oh, that's true. Like,
And as I said earlier, like, but it's more innovation, not like same story. A little kid goes gym, 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 gym. Like it's more
mhm.
innovation as well. It's something I would look for in Pokemon.
That's like that's why I love Legends Arceus so much, cuz like you're like you get thrown into the past. There's no gym challenges or anything. Like you like the only like challenges that you really have to do are like these like really powerful Pokemon. You have to like subdue them and everything. And like it's a
Yeah,
really nice change of pace. And we also get like different forms of Pokemon and stuff as well, which is really cool.
yeah. That's another thing. Like the gameplay, I would also want to see a change in the gameplay instead of just Pokemon versus Pokemon. I think it'd be cool if you were like, maybe you could control the Pokemon directly. Like that'd be kind of cool, I think. That'd be a pretty cool idea, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like,
You say that, but in one of the DLCs for Scarlet and Violet, there's a thing you can do that lets you like move around using one of your Pokemon.
yeah,
Like you control the Pokemon. I haven't done it because I don't own any of the DLC for Scarlet or Violet, but like
yeah.
it looks pretty fun, even if it doesn't really do anything.
I just think it'd be cool if they changed the formula a little bit,
Hmm.
instead of just a reskinned Pokemon every time with a little, slightly different story.
There are
Speaking of
also
the,
the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games.
yeah, well, what's your favorite Pokemon game? Would you say, Kaden?
Ooh, uh, I think like it's that's actually a pretty tough question because there's the nostalgia for Pokemon Sun and Moon, but then I do also think Sword and Shield were also pretty good. The story was not the best, but like still had fun playing it. Uh, like every Pokemon game, I've had fun with every game that I've played, and it's like this even goes for like the games like the very first ones like red, blue, yellow version. Like
Yeah, those are the OG.
every game is fun to me, despite like the flaws, especially with the newer stuff.
Yeah,
But I think the one I had the most fun with, uh, I don't know. It's a tie between Pokemon Sun and Legends Arceus. Those were like my favorite. Even going back to like not Legends Arceus, going back to Pokemon Sun, like even to this day, still like brings me joy.
yeah. My favorite, I would have to say, is just Black and White because it was my first, and I actually really liked the story, like Reshiram, and then the other guy, whatever his name was. I thought it was cool, a really cool story.
Yeah. Reshiram
Those
and
are probably
Zekrom and
yeah, those are like my
Kiri.
favorite legendaries because they're the ones I grew up with. Was those two, so
Yeah.
I just think they're really cool. I I also that's when the formula was still fresh to me, and then as I played the other games, it was still the same, and to me it does get boring, just the same thing over and over, even if it is different Pokemon and a different story. Like the story is never something I really invested in that much anyway.
That's fair.
What would you say your least favorite Pokemon game is?
Um, Honestly, that's a good question. I I don't think I have a least favorite. Like there are like even like the ones that I haven't played much, uh I still like have fun with a little bit. Like uh I'm just gonna say Pokemon like Crystal, cause like that's like the second gen, but it's like the one I've played the least of. Like I'm still
Okay,
having fun with it, but I don't play it as much as I play some of the other ones like Pokemon Platinum.
I get you. I'd say my least favorite is just probably the newest ones. Just probably the newest ones because I'm not a big fan of the 3D element. I'm more of a fan of the two. I like the 2D because that's just what I grew up with. So I just like it more.
That's fair. Like uh I love the pixel art 2D style. There's a charm. There's definitely a charm with it, but there's also a charm that like the 3D stuff has as well.
Yeah,
Uh like and not liking the newer stuff is totally valid considering how Game Freak hasn't like it doesn't feel like Game Freak is putting in like as much effort as they
yeah,
could or
definitely,
should.
definitely not putting in enough effort compared to other games that have been releasing.
Yeah.
I think we should talk a little bit about Nintendo, just because the Switch 2. Like, what do you think about the Switch 2, Caden?
Uh like it doesn't feel worth it. It doesn't feel worth it. Like like when we played on the Switch 2, it's like yeah, everything like runs better and it's smoother and stuff, but like that's like the only difference. Like and it's like how much does it cost again? Like $500?
Probably 500, I think. Yeah.
So,
To me, it's not worth it either.
it's like 450. So it's like it's only like it may be only $150 more, but it's like there's not even like a whole lot of games for it, and if you wanna like move like take like games from the Switch One, it's like you gotta
You
pay
have to you have to
extra.
buy the upgraded version too for the
Yes.
Switch 2. Dude, I hate Nintendo. Talking about the Switch 2 specifically though, something I also don't like. Personally, I'm not even a big fan of Nintendo games. Like my biggest Nintendo game I like is Smash Bros. And the only reason I would even get a Switch is for like the only reason anyone gets Switches is for the Nintendo games. If Nintendo didn't have exclusives, nobody would care for the Switch, in my opinion. But that's
Okay.
just because the Switch 2, it is, it's expensive. It's as expensive as like a PS5, for example, which is definitely a superior console in my opinion, but it is just it's just a shit show. Like for Nintendo, they're just a scummy company. They're suing people for stupid things that doesn't even relate to their games. They don't Their games are lower quality than like other games. They just don't try as hard. And their games are overpriced. Literally games from like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. Guess what? They weren't discounted. There's no discounts for Nintendo. Everything is exactly the same price as what it was when it was released. Like a 10-year-old game is still going to be like $70. So, You know, that sucks. You should definitely discount your games, Nintendo. And you can't even own games for Nintendo. So if you buy a game, they could just like, shut it down at some point and you don't own it. So
Yeah.
you don't own anything. You everything's like a subscription with Nintendo. You buy it, you buy the right to use something, but you don't physically own it. So at any time they can just shut down your console, shut down anything if they don't like you, basically.
Yeah, it's
So I really don't like Nintendo for that. And also they're rising the game prices like to
like
what?
$70 for like a game. That's
I think it's more than that. I think it's like I thought it was like 90. Let me look it up real quick. Uh 70 plus. Yeah, 70 plus. They're raising the game prices. It was 60. Now it's like 90. I've heard 90, so I'm just going to say 90. And everyone else is going to follow suit, so it's going to be a struggle for everyone else when new games come out. It's going to be like 70, 80 bucks. Probably not 90. 90 seems kind of up there, but it's going to be
yeah.
expensive.
It's
I think it's 80 actually now. I think it's going to be 80 now.
like also like some of the problems with like oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Now you're
Um
good.
that's also another problem that I've heard some people talk about for like Pokemon Legends EA is like it costs like 70 or $80. It's and like you're paying that much for like a game that has like not a whole lot of effort put into it, at least like visually with like the buildings and stuff.
Yeah,
It's like it feels like we're paying more to get less from like all these companies.
for sure. And you don't even own the game either. You're paying more for literally less because you don't even have the game
Yeah, it's
either.
like also it's like did you hear like I haven't heard much about this either, but I heard that Jeff Bezos, the guy who runs Amazon, is like wanting people to rent PCs like an online thing, like to rent games. It's like
That's a dumb idea.
yeah.
I I didn't hear about that, but I'm not already just from hearing about it. I'm not a big fan. I personally believe, Caden, that we should start boycotting Nintendo. So they have to lower their prices for their games, and they can't keep fucking everyone. Cause all you Nintendo fans, Caden, you just let Nintendo fuck you, and then you fucking have a smile while they fuck you, dude. You gotta say no. You gotta say no to Nintendo, and you gotta stop letting them fuck you. Prime example, Stockman. He just loves capitalism, dude, because he just goes and he buys the newest console without even thinking about it. He buys the newest Nintendo Switch 2, right?
Hmm.
And he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the moral dilemma. He doesn't care about the message Nintendo brings. He just buys it with a smile on his face and he lets Nintendo fuck him. I think people should start boycotting Nintendo, stop buying Nintendo stuff until they actually have a decent moral code and they actually lower game prices and they actually put more effort in their games.
Hmm.
Nintendo, you guys got to say no to Nintendo. Like some of you Nintendo guys are just you're just happy when Nintendo just takes advantage of you and just ravages your bank account, dude. Like we need to boycott Nintendo. This is my call to action. We got to start boycotting Nintendo, Caden. Don't
Yeah.
buy the Switch 2.
We
Don't
gotta boycott a lot of shit, dude. It's like there's so much going wrong in like the gaming and tech fields. Like everything like PC parts cost like so much more because like Nvidia and stuff, they're putting all
Oh
their
yeah.
like RAM into AI and
Yeah.
like like a bunch of like gaming companies aren't like putting like their backs into any of the games anymore because like they've developed like a huge portion of their fan base will gobble up slop and it's like I know I mentioned that I bought Pokemon Scarlet back in December a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Uh but like I do acknowledge that like these gaming companies, including Nintendo and Game Freak, need to like kick their ass into gear and like if like I get that like a lot of people have budget limitations, but this is like Nintendo and Game Freak we're talking about. Pokemon is
Dude, they have so much
like
money.
the
They have, if
biggest
they
the
wanted
biggest
to, they
grossing
could.
franchise. It's like
Caden, yeah. And do you want to know how to make them start getting in the gear?
by not paying for their shit.
Yeah,
Like
they'll start
like
losing money on their
I
stuff, and then they'll actually have to start changing what they do.
yeah. It's like pirating, just like pirate the shit.
Uh,
Like
yeah, I suppose, but I don't know. I just think you should just stop buying Nintendo stuff until they make a change, you know?
yeah. Like personally, it's like I ain't buying a Switch 2 for a multitude of reasons. One, I ain't got the money. Two, it doesn't seem worth it. It's like what did they add really? It's like
Barely anything. Barely
yeah,
anything.
barely anything. It's like you can have a party chat now. Cool. Like we could do that over
You
Discord.
could do that. You could do that for fucking years on everything else, dude. Like Switch is
Yeah.
so far behind every other console, and like just every other console, yeah.
It's like if you're gonna like chat with somebody, you could have like played Mario Kart on the Switch 1 and uh like talked over Discord. It's
Yeah,
literally no
it's
different than that.
you literally just use Discord. Yeah.
And like Mario Kart World, it's like I get that people like it, but like it's just I like Mario Kart 8 more. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is
Dude,
like just feels so much
Mario
better.
Kart World, dude, let me tell you, the graphics in that game look like they were straight out of ChatGPT's asshole, dude. It looks straight fucking AI junk, is what that game looks like.
Yeah, it's like really really uncanny. It's like
It is. It is so uncanny. It looks like not handmade, and it looks like something AI made.
mhm.
It's like an imitation. I would much rather play Mario Kart 8. That game looks so much better. This is what I'm saying. Nintendo doesn't put effort in their games, dude, because they know people are going to eat up the slop. And you all know the prime example, as I said earlier, Stockman, dude. He fucking eats that slop up, dude. He bro sold a bunch of his shit, soundbar and other games,
Mhm.
just so he could buy Kirby Air Riders.
To be
And I'm not
fair,
trying to be an asshole.
Kirby Air
This
Riders
game
is
looks
like
like
a gem in the
Dookie.
rough.
Nah, Caden. Dude, what is Kirby Air Riders? It's
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 like
like a
it's like
racing game.
yeah,
It looks
it's a
like
Kirby racing
Dookie.
game, but like it looks better than like Mario Kart World. It like
I'm sure it's better than Mario Kart World, dude. That's a low bar to get over. I
fair.
I could make a game better than fucking Mario Kart World. With my fucking drawing abilities, Caden, I could make a game better than that. Like, come on, dude.
That's fair. But like he said it himself, Kirby Air Riders is better than Mario Kart World in his opinion. And honestly,
I
yeah, it's
I
like
disagree, dude. I'd rather play Mario Kart than Kirby Air Riders, because, dude, Kirby Air Riders just feels like a fever dream. I didn't even play it. I was just watching it. It just feels like a fever dream. But my main point is, it isn't even like the game he bought. It's the fact that he's going and selling his things to feed this corporate scum, dude, Nintendo. And even if it was a great game, this company is so scummy, dude. And I just hate seeing people support them because they really got to make a change to their business practices.
that's
You
fair.
know?
Yeah. Like like what new games did they even like make for the Switch 2 like when it came out? Like other than Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Peninsula.
Dude, Mario Kart World is like the only thing I heard about. I actually played it, and dude, Mario Kart World this just sucks. I
Like
don't know what they made for it. I really
like
I really don't. Nothing good. Nothing that crossed my radar.
I don't know. I think Nintendo had a direct recently. Here, let me try
I
to
don't know.
let me try to find it.
Okay. Stockman posted that. Dude, he's the D1 fucking Nintendo dick sucker. I know Kaiden is that guy. Fucking Nintendo, dude. I can't believe so many people support Nintendo after all these things they're doing that just it doesn't even just damage the Nintendo community. It damages the rest of us, the rest of the console community. Because it's raising game prices because if they're allowing Nintendo to fuck them, other companies are gonna fuck us. Okay? Because
Yeah.
if they see like how much they can get away with, everyone's gonna follow suit.
Like I'm scrolling through here. Like the only things that look interesting are like Digimon and Hollow Knight, bro.
Dude, Hollow Knight, you can play that on everything.
Yeah. It's like that's like they got Hollow Knight on the Switch too. It's like cool. Like thanks to the whole like Steam family thing, I could have played that like months ago.
Exactly.
I do
PC
plan
gaming
on
is
it.
superior in every way to console gaming, by the way. I've recently been getting into PC gaming. Free to play online, major W. Better graphics, major W.
Mm-hmm.
More control. Anyways, Caden,
Yeah.
I had a this is a pretty popular theoretical question I had for you, which is to do with Pokemon. So, what do you think would win, Caden?
Oh
A
god.
billion lions or every Pokemon, one of every single Pokemon?
Bro, one of every single Pokemon all the way. Like 1 billion lions? Yeah,
Dude, a
yeah, that
billion is
yeah.
a lot of lions, though. A
One
billion's
billion
a
is a lot
lot.
of lions. That's true. It is a lot of lions. But one of every single Pokemon, dude, you don't even need one of every single Pokemon to get rid of 1 billion lions.
Dude, I would argue like the majority of the Pokemon are weaker than a lion. Like a fucking like the Rattata, for example, the fucking rat
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
it's
Even
Rattata.
like Charmander, dude. I bet his ass could probably 1v1 a lion, but he'd die to one lion.
Well, okay. Uh, you don't even like you don't even need all like the Pokemon to get rid of 1 billion lions. Let's see. Uh, Charizard. I can think of a way that Charizard can take on like 15 lions at the very least. Okay?
Dude, Charizard's taking down more than that. He's
Yeah, that's why I
flying,
said at
dude.
the very least. Like
Dude, the
bottom of the
lions can't
barrel.
reach him up in the air. He's
Exactly.
flying up there. He's gonna
Exactly.
just
There are
fucking
so many
flamethrower their ass.
there are so many Pokemon that like will not be able to be touched by the lions at all. So it's like one of every single Pokemon will win. Like I don't care. I do not care. Like these things
I've heard
are
arguments
superpowered,
for
dude.
both ways. I personally am on the side for the Pokemon, just because I know there's some fucking cosmic being Pokemon out there that can just fucking fuck up these lions, dude.
Mhm.
I've heard the argument though of a lion like just they're just climbing on top of each other so they can get up to like Charizard, for example.
It's a
You know.
lion. It can't do that.
Sure they could, Kaden. If there's a will, there's a way. They could make a fucking lion ladder, dude. They could make a lion ladder.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think they could do that, but I still think Charizard could take out a shit ton of lions before he dies.
Uh, like
Dude, even like fucking I don't know, like Reshiram, dude, he could take out a shit ton of lions before he
yeah,
gets
it's
taken out.
like you don't even need like all of them. If you got like, dude, like they're like Arceus is like God. He's actually God. Like that. He's still a Pokemon. Uh, I saw a video. Well, I didn't watch it, but I got a video on my YouTube recommended about this argument, and like it said, you don't even need all the Pokemon, and it had like 7 Pokemon. like in the thumbnail.
Yeah, what
It's
about
like,
ghost type? What about ghost type Pokemon? How do the lions kill a ghost?
um,
They're not physically there.
good question. I would say, like, if we're like doing this in terms of Pokemon, then a normal lion would just be like a normal type, right? So if we're doing this in like on like the Pokemon way, the
Yeah,
ghost
I
Pokemon wouldn't be
suppose.
able to do anything. Like, well, nothing like normally. Like unless
Could they haunt them? Like possess them?
uh no, I don't know.
But they're a
It depends
ghost,
if you're
dude. That's what ghosts
if
do. They
like
possess people.
you know the one episode from like Pokemon Indigo League, like the first anime, like
Dude, I've
they
watched
took
barely any Pokemon, Kaden. I ain't gonna lie. So I don't.
okay,
I don't
well,
know.
there's an episode where Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar like take Ash and Pikachu out of their body.
Exactly. They
So
could do
it's
that to
like
the lions.
if like I haven't seen Indigo League in like so long, so it's like I could be remembering stuff wrong, but it's like if we're going based off like the anime type of logic, it is so over. Like it's not even gonna
Yeah.
last long. It's so over. But like if we're going on like game logic, then Ghost Pokemon, like they could do stuff if they know non-ghost type moves, but like lions ain't doing nothing to a ghost type. Cause
Okay, what about like a lion like getting up to Arceus and like biting his head off?
that ain't
You
gonna
think a
happen.
lion could do that?
That ain't gonna happen.
Well,
Like,
what Pokemon in the game can defeat Arceus? Like if you're in a Pokemon battle.
well, like, uh, I don't know. I don't know.
What type is Arceus anyway? Flying.
No, Arceus can be any type, really. Like for
Okay.
like, I haven't beat well, I haven't gotten like to the point where you can catch Arceus in Legends Arceus yet, but like I'm pretty sure it's like you can change his typing. I'll check that right now.
He's fire, water, and grass. Actually, no, he's every type. You're right.
Yeah.
Depends on the thing he's holding or something.
Yeah, it's like there's like a bunch of different plates and stuff. So like using those is how you change it.
Okay. Well, I do agree. I think the answer is the Pokemon would definitely be a billion lions. The lions are just they can't even like touch some of the Pokemon, when they're flying. Like some Pokemon fly faster than like the speed of sound, I'm pretty sure. So it's gonna be hard for him to get up to them too.
Dude, it's like you could okay, the Pokemon Wailord, like the biggest Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
if like all it needs to do is like be dropped on like a bunch of the lines. Boom. What are they gonna do against that? It's like
Dude, they're gonna fucking eat him alive. That Whale Lord.
nah.
Dude, I don't think Wailord stands a chance, honestly. I think he's getting fucking mauled.
Okay.
It's like a
My
blue whale.
my thing is, right? If you're a Pokemon trainer and you're going up against like a bunch of lions, right? It's like boom.
There's no trainers involved. They're all
No.
wild
Okay.
Pokemon.
Okay. That's fair. Okay, so no trainer Pokemon, no trainer, just a bunch of wild animals fighting. That's fair.
Yep.
I do think that like Wailord could just crush a bunch of the lions.
Dude, how does he even get up there to crush him? The lions could just climb on Wailord and eat him, bro. Like eat his fucking eyeballs out. Like, what are you doing now, Wailord? The fucking lion just ate your eyeball. One of them can
Uh,
climb in his fucking stomach and start eating his fucking intestines and heart and shit. Fucking eat him out from the
what
inside.
is this devolving into?
I don't know. Anyways, Caden,
Yeah.
We could make a couple. I have a couple closing questions. Well, first of all, is there anything, any closing statements you want to say? Any. First of all, you want to like shout out yourself or whatever.
Uh, Closing statement.
Yep.
I'll say something. I'll say something daring. Okay.
All
A
right.
lot. You know the Pokemon Umbreon.
Sure. Yeah, I do.
Uh, a lot of people love its shiny version. I think it's all right. I think it's all right, but I do heavily think it's overrated, like heavily.
Is that like a hot take in the Pokemon community?
Like I am under the belief that it is because I have never seen anybody like say this about its shiny. I've only seen people absolutely like love its shiny. So it's like unless I'm like looking in like the wrong area, I've never seen anybody like say like that it's overrated or anything. I've only seen people talk about it like
Do you want,
absolutely
do you want to
praising it.
hear? Do you want to hear my opinion on it? I just figured. I just see what it is right now.
Yep.
Is it the blue one? Like it has
Yeah.
the blue on it?
Yeah, the
Um,
black and blue.
Dude, I do agree. That's nothing to cry about. That's a mid. A lot of these other shinies look way better. Like the Vaporeon shiny that's pink, that's a sick shiny. Uh
Mhm.
the Volteon, I think its name is, it's green, that's kind of cool. Espeon's
Jolteon, yeah.
green.
Uh
The Leafeon, the leaf one, that one looks like shit. That one's actually worse than Umbreon's shiny, in my opinion.
yeah, it is barely different. Uh
Um, yeah.
Back in like the pixel art and like sprite style, Glaceon shiny like looked so much better than it does.
I think it looks fine. I still think it looks fine.
Yeah, it still looks all right, but it's like I think it looked better back in like the sprite style because like I don't know. My favorite, my favorite evolution, like personally, it's like my favorite evolution is a tie between Leafeon and Sylveon, but Sylveon is easily my
Uh,
favorite shiny.
Sylveon, which one is that?
Uh, the the pink and the pink and white one. Its shiny version is like blue and white.
I mean, what type is it?
Oh, fairy.
Oh, that's the pink one. I do not like that one at all. My
Really?
favorite evolution is probably, I don't even know, dude. I know a lot of people just love Eevee, but I don't really care that much. Mine's probably Flareon, if I had to choose.
That's
Probably
fair.
Flareon. Anyways, Caden, I have two closing questions for you before we wrap it up.
Okay.
So, do you know the Chuckle Sandwich podcast, Caden?
Oh yeah.
Do you know like the question they ask it at the end of every episode? Like, what part of the Chuckle Sandwich would you like to be?
Um, I don't remember their closing question. So
Well, I'll ask you my closing question. I have two actually.
okay.
So, instead of the sandwich, we're making a hooligan, and you get to choose to be part of the body. So you can
Mhm.
choose anything that is physically seen, not anything like in the inside. What part of the hooligan would you like to be?
Uh, hmm.
Want me to tell you what's been taken already?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me pull it up. I took the hair. I chose a black pompadour. Fenton took the dick. He made it charred.
Oh.
Orion. Oh fuck! I didn't write what Orion's was. I gotta figure that out again. Spencer chose the teeth. Wyatt chose one of the arms. He made it a bionic arm. You can also choose clothes and whatnot as well. Anything that's like physically able to be seen. What
Mhm.
what part of the hooligan would you want to be, Cade?
Uh, hmm. So you said we could do like clothes and stuff, right?
Yeah, anything that you can see on the outside. Anything that you can see, basically, yeah.
You know what? I think I'll go with the other arm.
Okay. And how do you want it to like look? So one arm's
Uh,
gonna be a bionic, and then the other will be.
I'm gonna put. Hold on. Like I need to show you because like it's so much easier. But it's a symbol from Xenoblade 3.
Try to describe it, Kaden, for the listeners, because they're not all gonna be able to see this.
Uh, so from what I remember, it's like a it's like a tattoo type of thing. It can like be on your wrist or your neck from what I remember.
So it's a tattoo. It's not the arm itself, but it's a tattoo on the arm.
Yeah, it's like the less amount of like red there is like what cycle you're on. So it's like if there's like only like one red part.
And then there's one last question for you, Kaden.
Hmm.
Would you rather the monkeys or hamburger?
Hmm. I think I'd rather the hamburger.
Correct answer. Correct answer. Hamburger is correct. Good job.
Okay.
Do you want to know why the other answer is wrong?
Why?
Because the person I was referring to earlier, Stockman, when we had asked him this question, like back in high school, he said the monkeys. So me and Orion decided the correct answer will always be hamburger from now on.
Huh. Okay.
Anyways, did you have a good time, Caden, on the podcast? You
Yeah,
have a
I
pretty good
did. I was
time?
I was really nervous at first, but I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, I think so as well. And if you ever want to come on again at some point, maybe with someone else, just let me know. It was a good time, and yeah, yeah, that's about it. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed Caden and liked our talk about Nintendo and Pokemon. See you later. Thank you for listening to the Hooligans Podcast.
If you enjoyed the podcast, please consider giving us a 5-star rating.
Leave a comment so we can hear your thoughts.
If you'd like to help the podcast, spread the word, recommend us to your friends.
Gooner Gang.
Stand up.